say the three wrestlers that get talked about it the most, especially when it goes like what with pro wrestling, would be Kurt Angle, yourself, and Brock Lesnar. I'm curious what your thoughts are on Brock Lesnar.
Well, first off, I think that's awfully good. If you put me in awfully good company right there. So no, it's Brock Lesnar. He's been I'll say a genetic freak from a very early age on. You look at the fact that he was looking at a football trial at one point in time as well. So the fact that he's looking for football trials, he utilized the sport of wrestling. He went to college at Minnesota and wrestled for Jay Robinson. Did well there, was NCAA champion, and then just used his wrestling ability. And he was a champion in professional wrestling. So he did himself proud in the aspect that each sport that he went into, and again, I'll say that wrestling is one of those sports. It teaches you to be kind of like that rogue individual. So again, he's kind of like he's still that rogue individual because I mean. Where does he live right now? He owns a great deal of property just across the border north of us into Canada. So he actually has dual citizenship. He's an American, but he's a Canadian because he owns all this land up in Canada.
And he's a farmer.
Yes, and he has children and stuff like that. And I think a lot of people just say, well, why do you have all this farmland? I think he talks about, he wants his kids to turn out to be good individuals and not reckless little shits. So,
have you seen Brock Lesnar's daughter in her amateur wrestling?
I mean, I'll just say she's a credible physical looking specimen here right now. For her age,
she looks just like Brock.
Well, it is. I mean, Brock ended up marrying
Sable.
Sable, yeah, and so I mean, so you'd hope that your girls would take after a little bit more of Mama versus Daddy, but definitely there's some definitely physical traits that you see Daddy dominant genes, yes.
Well, that's only going to help her in her wrestling career, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, again, that's where I'm hoping that he's helping to guide her to where I mean, Brock has done well financially between. Working for Vince McMahon and the WWE and what he did in the UFC. So he's done well for himself financially. So I'm sure that he'll help his children and guide them into doing some good decisions because eventually they got to live their own lives and do well for themselves.
For sure.